Hi and welcome to the monthly planning video, Plan With Me, this time for the month of March. I'm always really excited to sit down and record these videos for you. It's always a good time for me as well to reflect on all of the things that happened in the previous month and plan for the next month. The month of February was ultra short, but I feel like there's still a lot of things that happened in the month, so I think it was a really good time for me to sit down and reflect on those different things. As you can probably hear, I am still a little bit sick. I got COVID last week, and there's a couple of different learnings that I definitely want to share with you about that with regards to my mental health and my realizations that I had around that. How this video series works is super simple. I'm going to share with you a couple of different journaling prompts to reflect on the month of March, and I will also share a couple of planning prompts with you in order to plan the month of March. All of the different journaling prompts are based off of my planner, the Peak Performance Planner, that is coming out hopefully finally in the month of March. I know that I have been announcing it for so many months now, but the shipping was delayed and I had to practice patience, but I really hope that in the month of March we will finally celebrate having the planner online. Fear not if you obviously do not have the planner for this video right now. Make sure that you grab pen and paper or a journal where you can journal with me together. You can pause this video at any point in time in order to write down your thoughts and your insights for the month of February and for the month of March. And I would say, let's get started with the journaling prompts for the month of February. And here they are. What did you learn this month? What are you grateful for? What can you celebrate this month? What's your biggest insecurity? And what would your life look like if you would let it go? How did you spend your free time this month? And finally, what are your 3 most common stress triggers? Brainstorm ideas for each on how to overcome them. And here are the planning prompts for the month of March. My goals for the month of March are: my self-care goal for the month is, and then finally, make sure to not forget to mark your calendar accordingly and plan your month ahead. Okay, those are the different journaling prompts that I wanted to share with you today. And as you can see, there's a lot of different lighting in my office today, so I apologize ahead of time, but we're having a lot of beautiful clouds in the sky because it just snowed last night. And so I apologize if the lighting is a little bit back and forth today here in my office. And before we're jumping into a couple of different insights that I want to share with you today, I want to do a quick check-in because, as you know, I am recording these videos every single month, and every single month I am also setting goals for myself to make sure that I'm making progress. Last month, my self-care goals were to exercise regularly, to not eat any sugar, and to not drink any alcohol. And here's how I was doing. The first 2 weeks I was doing amazing. I did a lot of workouts and I was really proud of myself because I did hit my goal of working out 5 times a week for the first 2 weeks, and then unfortunately I got sick with COVID. So the last week I obviously did not work out at all, and I'm really excited to get back into a normal workout routine because it really is super important for my mental health, and I will share a little bit more about that in a second. I was really good with my goal on not drinking any alcohol. It was actually super easy for me, and a really powerful realization that I really do not need alcohol in order to have fun and have a good time with my friends. I had 2 drinks in the month of February, one for Valentine's Day when I went with my friend Jess to a restaurant and I had a glass of wine, which was really nice, and then 1 drink, 1 whiskey when I was feeling sick and by myself the last couple of days, and I just felt like having a whiskey. So that's all I did, that's all I drank. However, let me be very honest with you about my self-care goal around chocolate and sweets. I was really bad with that over the month of February, and I'm not happy about this because it's not making me feel good. And so in the next month, in the month of March, I am definitely trying to be better about that. But powerful reminder that sometimes I am setting myself too many goals at the same time and I can't hit all of them at the same time. So I did hit my alcohol goal, I did hit half of my exercise goal, and I'm really excited to dive into the month of March and to get better around all of these different things. The other goals that I set for myself were obviously business related. I was, for example, trying to start to sell the planners, but unfortunately the planners and the shipment of the planners was delayed yet again, which is super annoying. But at the same time, I just need to practice patience, because there's absolutely nothing I can do to expedite the shipping, because they are sitting stuck on a ship in the middle of the Pacific. But actually, as I was doing this journaling exercise, and that's why it is so powerful to do this, I realized that I did actually sell planners. I actually sold over 100 planners already with the corporate workshops that I'm facilitating on a regular basis, which is really great. And I was also able to fill my calendar in February with different workshops for different companies. And I'm really happy that I hit all my business goals for the month of February. So that's my little check-in, and I would say now let's dive into the different journaling prompts for the month of February. I have a lot of things to share today, so I'm trying to make it as short as possible, but I also do not want to miss to share those different insights with you, because I think it's important and hopefully really helpful for you as you see how I'm reflecting on my own life. And the first question that we are answering together today is the question, what did I learn this month? And honestly, the most powerful learnings I had over the last week being sick at home. It is not easy to be at home, especially with COVID, especially because you have to isolate, and I am living by myself. I am single and I'm living in my house by myself, so I had to self-isolate and be by myself for the last 5 days, and that was definitely not easy. Being sick, being by yourself, and having a lot of time to think was not super healthy for me. Even though I was only at home for a couple of days by myself, my mental health was definitely suffering, and I felt super alone and super lonely. And it is a really powerful reminder for me that, first of all of these 3 different pillars are super important in my life, and I need to make sure that I am integrating them on a regular basis, on a day-to-day basis, in order to feel good about myself. And at the same time, it was a powerful reminder how impatient I am with myself, because I knew that it was obviously finite. I knew that I'm only going to be sick for a couple of days and then I can go back to my normal life. And even though I knew that, in the moment it felt incredibly difficult to just sit with that. And I even got kind of mad with my friends, not like directly mad, but like internally I kind of felt left alone, and I felt like nobody was checking in on me. And it was another powerful reminder for myself as well, that if I need help, I just need to ask for it, because my friends obviously don't know if I need something. But it is extremely difficult in these moments to ask for help, because I feel super vulnerable and I feel super sensitive, and I feel like people should just know how I feel, and it is hard to ask for help. But don't be afraid to ask for help, no matter what you're going through. That was the biggest learning that I've had for myself for the month of February, and I hope that I am recovering really quickly. As you can hear, I'm still a little nasal, and I'm still being a little bit blocked. But I'm feeling so much better. I didn't have a very strong case of COVID. I had a couple of different body aches and headaches, and then I was just kind of dealing with this cold. So it's all good, and I'm actually really excited to be back at work. And that is the biggest thing that I feel grateful for this month, which is really the realization how important work is for me as well, how important it is to have this routine in place in order to feel accomplished at the end of the day and feel like I am doing something good for the world. And I'm really grateful for that. I don't think over the last couple of months I was very grateful for my work, and now that I was sick and I didn't really have much to do, and then going back into this routine felt really amazing. What am I celebrating this month? This month I am celebrating adding 2 new business coaches to my network and to my team, because it is one of my biggest goals this year to grow my business. And business development does not come very easy to me, because I find it difficult to sell myself. And so I decided that I'm going to add 2 business coaches to my team. One business coach that is really helping me with messaging and with growing my business with networking, etc. And then one business coach that helps me more on the online sales, online funnels side as well. So I'm super, super excited about that. I think it is the right timing. I feel good about it. I feel really happy about the 2 coaches that I found, and I will obviously report on hopefully many successes over the next couple of months as well. The next journaling prompt is, what is my biggest insecurity and how would my life be different if I would let go of that? And that was a really powerful question that I had to think about a little bit for a little while. And I think my biggest insecurity when it comes to business is really kind of putting myself out there and really stepping into the power that I am adding value to people. And I think this is a really powerful change of narrative, because I'm oftentimes telling myself, I don't really want to sell anything because it feels uncomfortable for me and I don't want to annoy people with the things that I'm doing. But I think as I shifted this narrative to I'm actually helping people and I am adding a ton of value to people's lives, and I am getting a lot of feedback from participants, I am getting a lot of feedback from clients, from people that are following me on social media, and everybody tells me, hey, you're doing an incredible job. And all of these different reminders have been super powerful for me to be like, yeah, hey, I'm actually doing something really powerful and I do want to help more people and I can be proud of that. And so that is, I think, my biggest insecurity, that I am doing good for the world and that I don't need to feel bad for selling myself. So that is definitely something that I'm working on in the year of 2022 and something that was really helpful to reflect on. Okay, the next journaling prompt was the question, how did I spend my free time this month? And it makes me laugh a little bit because obviously the first 2 weeks of the month were fun and I was doing a lot of exercise. I was a lot outside and spending lots of time with my friends in nature. I did a photo camp with my friend Aubrey, who is getting me into learning the ins and outs of using a camera. I just bought a really nice camera as well for the YouTube channel, which I'm super excited about. And I'm learning really how to take manual pictures and how to do all the adjustments, which I think is really, really powerful and helpful for obviously the videos that I'm recording, for the thumbnails, but also for the videos and pictures that I'm going to take in the future. I did some cold plunging this month, which was really, really fun and that I want to get into as soon as I'm back to normal and as soon as I'm feeling healthy again. And I do want to record a YouTube video about that as well. So stay tuned for that one. Super, super excited about that. And yeah, and then the second half of the month, obviously, I spent being sick, taking care of myself, going outside, going on a lot of walks with Kobe and just sitting at home and yeah, nourishing myself to get better. And the final question today is, what are my biggest stress triggers and how can I brainstorm some ideas to help me get through those different stress triggers? And that was not such an easy question for me because I feel like I've obviously been, as a stress management coach myself, been really good about different stress triggers and managing my stress levels on a regular basis. So if you are struggling with this question, this could be different things such as, for example, a colleague that is really stressing you. It could be your manager, could be a stakeholder or a client. It could be specific emails that are coming in on a regular basis. So that could be a stress trigger. It could be your family members. It could be how you are managing your days. So there's a wide array of things that can stress you. For me, the biggest stress triggers that I have is me not taking regular breaks during the day. Sometimes I'm really pushing myself to keep on working and not taking my lunch break. And then I'm feeling extremely exhausted and depleted and tired. And I'm always a little bit mad with myself when I do that because I know better. I know that I should take these lunch breaks ahead of time before I'm starting to feel depleted because it is better for my energy management, and I still am yet not 100% fully optimized for that. So I'm still working on that. And another stress trigger that I have that I'm dealing with, especially at the moment as I'm going through growing my business and doing business development, is unresponsive emails. That's a huge stress trigger for me and a huge insecurity because I always think, didn't people see that email? Why are they not responding? So that stresses me a lot and I have a lot of negative thoughts around that as well. And so I think a good way to kind of cope with that is obviously to just send a follow-up, but also to just manage my negative thoughts and not taking unresponsive emails too personally. And so that's something that I'm definitely working on. Maybe you can relate to that as well. And yeah, that's all that I wanted to share for the month of February. Now let's jump into the journaling prompts for the month of March. And the first question is, what are my goals for the month of March? And I've already talked a lot about it, but I'm going to say it again. Obviously, in the month of March, my goal is to start with my business development, to craft different messaging, different sales messages, connect with my network, and onboard new corporate clients. That is one of the goals for the month of March, and it's not going to be just in the month of March, it's going to be for the rest of the year. So you're going to hear me say this a lot, and I will check in with you to see how this is going for me. And then obviously, hopefully, finally, the launch of the Peak Performance Planner. I am super excited about it. I've been waiting so many months now for the planners to arrive, and I really hope that by this next video you might already have a planner in your hands. My self-care goal for the month of March is, as always, no sugar. I've been having this goal now for the last 2 months. This is the 3rd month now that I'm going into the month with this goal in mind, and I'm really trying super hard this month to stick to it. I actually ordered a Vitamix, which I'm super excited about, and I'm planning to have a lot of healthy drinks and a lot of healthy no-bake brownies and stuff like that, lots of healthy desserts, and not get into eating sugary baked goods and peanut butter M&Ms. Those are my big vices, and so I'm really working super hard on not doing that in the month of March. And I'm also planning to have a running streak. I have been running a little bit at the beginning of the month of March. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really excited to get back into running. I don't know how well I can do this, especially with the weather, and looking outside, it's just started snowing again. So we will see, but definitely sticking to 5 times a week exercise is going to be super important for me in order to take care of myself and my mental health. And so, as you know, I always look into my calendar as well and make sure that I'm planning these different business goals ahead of time. So make sure that you don't forget this either. And that's all I wanted to share with you today. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If there's anything that I shared with you that you resonated with, leave me a comment down below and let me know how you are doing. It's always really nice to hear from you. So thank you so much for spending time with me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I see you here next week.